From the rugged desert outside Yuma, Arizona, this is Outpost Outspoken. Outpost Outspoken is the official podcast of U.S. Army Yuma Proving Ground, which conducts natural environment testing of military equipment in Arizona, Alaska, and the tropics.
Welcome to Outpost Outspoken. I'm your host for this segment, Ana Henderson. U.S. Army Yuma Proving Grounds intern program has become more robust in the recent years. In the summer of 2023, 13 interns were on site at YPG. Patty Conley with the Employment and Human Capital Division joins us to tell us more about the program, and Engineering Support Branch Team Lead Jose Rodriguez tells us about his experience as a mentor. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us, Anna.
Thank you.
Patty, can you start with telling me about YPG's intern program?
YPG participates in a variety of internship programs that the Department of Defense offers to recent graduates and also to current students. Some of the programs include an Army program for students and also an Army Fellows program after they graduate. We also participate in a Smart Scholar program, which focuses on STEM career fields. We also have partners with the Test Resource Management Center who provide us with an intern during the summers for about 3 months. So each of the internship programs can range from being here part-time for the full year or only summer intern programs. The programs offer students sometimes stipends so that they can help with tuition, and it can also offer them a gateway into a career with the DoD. Programs provide the students with on-the-job training to help them develop their skills, and as they develop those skills, it increases their responsibilities when they gain more knowledge and more experience. It allows us to kind of mold them and train them with the correct procedures, processes, and develop them as an engineer or as a program analyst or whatever career field they're in. We can kind of mold them and build them from there with what YPG has as their core values or their core mission.
And that way, hopefully, if they come back to us, they will already be one step ahead of the rest.
Yes, and it also allows them to transition into a federal career position. Sometimes they do not have to compete for those positions. The programs offer them kind of a open door into whether they're coming here as an engineer, program analyst, a data analyst, so they're able to just transition into that position without having any competition, not having to apply for that position. They just convert into it.
Wow, that's a fantastic opportunity. Now, Jose, you've been a mentor many times. Tell me about your goal when you're mentoring.
I've mentored a few interns over the last few years, and my goal is always to do a win-win for both parties. What I mean by that is I always like to have the mentor walk away with an opportunity and experience to actually do hands-on so that they attain some technical skills that they can utilize further in their careers. And for us as the organization sponsoring it, I also always try to focus on trying to get something out of that opportunity, whether it is a product that comes out of it, a process improvement, or whatever the case is. I always try to focus to make sure that is actually part of that curriculum.
How do you go about selecting a project for your intern that they can actually learn from and finish within that time? It
is a little bit challenged because some of those programs that we oversee, they tend to go multi-year. They tend to go 5-10 years. Some of them go on for a long time. However, it is very important to try to scope down the project, because also part of this internship program, you want them to feel that they own the process. They can do beginning to end on something that is at the end a deliverable that they can provide, and they feel like they contributed to the mission. So it is a challenge. In the past, we've tried to find little projects or smaller projects that they could be completed within that 10-week segment. And I think we've succeeded in some instances.
I interviewed a couple of the interns for the Outpost, and it struck me that the interns this summer mentioned soft skills, saying that test officers do more than just engineering. Why are these skills such as management and communication so important for the interns to learn?
So I can speak on behalf of the test officer community, also from the instrumentation point of view. Engineering out here at YPG is, in some instances, not just tackling a project from the technical standpoint, but managing managing project, managing test programs, execution of tests, writing reports. And from that perspective, it takes basically a project management type of skill set. So you're interacting with multiple support groups, you're coordinating different activities that happen so that the test gets executed on time, and you're following up through the whole cycle by basically documenting, writing up a report, and then providing that as the final product. So soft skills are important because you have to be coordinating, communicating with multiple support groups across the range.
To kind of add to that, it allows the interns, when they're able to see this as a part of our engineers, that they have longevity with YPG. They can come here and they can start their careers as an engineer, but if they're thinking long term, they can think about the leadership skills that they can obtain, learn from the current engineers and how they're developing as leaders, because they're the next generation that's going to come on board. They're going to be the ones leading us later on. And so having those soft skills and starting to view that now will help when they want to transition and develop into those leadership roles.
And Patty, you made sure that these interns had an opportunity to meet each other. Tell me about that.
We coordinated quite a few events for the interns to get together. We celebrated National Intern Day and celebrated that by providing cake and ice cream to the interns and meeting with their mentors during that time. We invited the command group. We invited division chiefs, branch chiefs to come and celebrate, because it really is a celebration of the next generation that's coming on board. We set up a in-process review so that the interns could give us feedback as they were going through the program on what things we were doing well, what things we could improve, kind of our sustains and improve areas. And we also set up events for them to go see different testing events so that they can experience what YPG has to offer, have a little bit of fun with it, but also learn from those different times, and also get to build that camaraderie within each of the areas that they visited and within themselves, so that they could get to know one another. Some of them were local, some of them were not local, so it kind of gave them an idea of how to socialize amongst one another and kind of create a team-building experience.
Both of you can answer this question. What is some of the feedback that you heard from the interns throughout the entire 10 weeks that we're here?
From my experience with the intern that I had, I think he was very excited. There was a lot of lessons learned that he encountered that I really liked that they happened, because it really shows what real work is and the obstacles, the challenges that they run up to and how they figure them out. So the feedback was very positive. I hope I did a good job from the mentor standpoint.
I think you did. I got to speak with Austin. He seemed very happy with your leadership. And Patty, what did you hear from the interns as they were exiting the program?
Most of the feedback that I received from the interns was positive in the fact that they were able to view a lot of YPG. Even though they were assigned to specific organizations, they had the opportunity to go out and view different areas. Prior to them starting their internships, we set up a site visit, which they were really happy to be able to participate in. It gave them a sense of, where they could be working, what they could be doing. And that, in the long run, helped us decide where we were going to assign them based on their academic background, what their career field aspirations were, and what areas they were really interested in the most. They selected those. We assigned them to specific organizations, but then between themselves, by utilizing an MS Teams chat that I created, they also spoke to one another to try and set up events that they could go out and see, whether it was a test observation or a site visit. So that was the biggest plus or positive that I received from them, was that they really did get to see a lot while they were out here and experience a lot. And it made them hungry for more. That was the other part of it, is they still wanted to see more. They still wanted to see other areas. And so it gives us a great opportunity to have them come back and experience the other areas that they really wanted to experience while they were here.
I think some of them weren't ready to go.
No, they definitely wanted to keep on going. So,
all right. Well, thank you both for your time today and also what you both do for YPG.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Hello, my name is James Gilbert of the YPG Public Affairs Office, and welcome to another episode of the Outpost Outspoken. The Army Fellows Program is designed to attract, recruit, and to hire civilian talent. The 2-year program provides training, education, and mentoring to highly skilled individuals by blending progressive work assignments, formal training, and self-development. Upon completion of the program, participants will be ready to contribute to Army mission readiness and permanently placed in a full-time authorized position. Joining me today is Kylie Kime, who is a participant in the Army Fellows Program here at Yuma Proving Grounds. Welcome, Kylie, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
How did you become involved in the Army Fellow Program?
So I actually didn't know that the Army Fellows Program was even a thing until my interview, actually. But once I had my interview and was kind of explained to me what I was going into, I looked it up more and found it was a pretty awesome program.
Where are you currently working?
I work for the safety office for mission safety. And so I am interning to become a safety specialist.
Is this similar to what you were doing prior to coming to YPG and being in the Army Fellow Program?
Yeah, in the past, I worked at Naval Base North Island in San Diego. I was a fire inspector for Fed Fire San Diego. I've been an EMT for most of my adult working life, and when I moved out to Yuma, I started working for Rural Metro in San Diego, and then got this job, so that's how I kind of transitioned into this.
So were you familiar with YPG before you came out here?
Not so much as like everybody else that kind of lived out here. A lot of people work out here, but me and my husband used to go camping at Kofa. We have been camping at Kofa a couple times, and that's basically all the familiarity I had with YPG before I moved out here.
So what do you find interesting about what you're doing now, and where do you see that going in the future?
I like that with mission safety out here, we get to not only do like the behind the scenes work of making sure that everybody's like safe in their day-to-day jobs and their offices and everything like that related to the mission, but also when they're doing like an actual test or whatnot, we get to help them out to make sure that like every participant in the mission or in the actual test is being safe and has all the proper resources that they need to do their job effectively and safely, and we get to make sure that all of that is handled.
So you've seen a lot of YPG so far?
The people in my office have been really good about like taking me out, making sure that like they're explaining where we are and how things work out here.
All right, so Kylie, what's your long-term goal here? I mean, I'm assuming you'd definitely like to be appointed to one of these permanently full-time authorized positions?
Yeah, so after my 2-year program, I'm really hoping that there's a position open out here. We moved out here for a reason. We really like the desert, and it was kind of cool that I get to work in this kind of environment all the time. Everybody from San Diego, when they found out we were moving out here, was like, "You're absolutely crazy. Why would you move out there? It's so hot." But at the same time, we go to the desert for fun. We really do like the heat, preferred to the beach. I would so much rather be out here.
So last on them.
Exactly. So yeah, we're hoping to stay out here, and I'm really hoping for a long-term safety position out here. That's kind of my end goal.
So how long have you been in the program now?
I've been in the program since May. So what is it, May? About 3-ish months.
3 months, 3 or 4 months now?
Mm-hmm.
So lights at the end of the tunnel getting a little brighter each day.
A little bit brighter, yeah.
So you will finish your program in 2025?
Yep, May of 2025.
Sounds like you've got a lot to look forward to and a lot going on. And I really want to thank you for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
This has been Outpost Outspoken. Thank you again for listening. We'll see you next time from the forefront of Army transformation.